Hi, my name is Ashley Forsyth, and I am the owner of Health and Fitness Mills in Salt Lake City. I have with me today Brittany Bezzant, and she is the owner of Esthetically Fit. And I actually go to her for my eyelashes. And what are some of the other services that you offer?
I also do microblading for eyebrows. I do waxing, facial and body waxing, eyelash lifts, and tints.
That's great. And I love going to you. I think I have probably been a consistent client of yours for years. Eyelashes are my favorite thing for myself just because I am working out so much, I'm in the kitchen so much, and it's like the one thing that I do. I don't necessarily get my nails done. I don't necessarily wear makeup every day. So it's the one thing I do to feel very feminine. I love it and not feel like I don't have to wear makeup and go out places. And I really love that. So eyelashes highly recommended by this girl for and for anybody who's really busy if you want to do that. Your studio is located right now in which city?
It's in Draper.
It's in Draper, Utah. Awesome. All right, so I wanted to know specifically how you got involved in this line of work and what sparked your interest and what education, learning, and credentials you put to get you on track for what you do.
Okay. So I really got interested in aesthetics probably during my first year of college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but one of my roommates had mentioned that her friend was going to aesthetic school, and she was just talking about that, and I kind of was like, oh, I think I would actually really like that. So after that first year at college, I went home and got married, and then I decided to start school after that. So what for each state is different regarding like the licensing that you need and the hours that you actually need to become licensed. But for the state of Utah, they actually have two different licenses for estheticians. So there's a basic esthetician license, and that is 600 hours. And there's a master esthetician license, and that is 1,200 hours. And then you just take the appropriate test for whatever license you're going for. After you pass the test, then you submit your license. And then you also have to get a health inspection license done as well.
Tell me, I was actually really surprised by that because I work in food, and so I knew the health department and like the Department of Agriculture, I knew their involvement in food preparation. But when you told me that you had to have a health inspection at your, what would you call it, your studio, I was really surprised. So tell me a little bit about what that involves.
Well, for safety of the consumer, I mean, your clients, just so that they have peace of mind knowing that you are appropriately licensed for one, and that you are safe in your practicing and what you're doing. You know, you need to have clean tools, clean instruments, just a clean environment, really, because you can get staph, you can get MRSA, you can get all kinds of nasty things, you know, if you're just not being careful. You know, from client to client, you're using the same instruments. So you need to be properly sanitizing them between each client. And so they really check for that, just to make sure you are appropriately cleansing everything, disinfecting, sanitizing, and that, you know, basic sanitization rules and requirements.
And that makes sense hearing it. It just wasn't shock to me. I was like, but why? There's no food. And I think that's great. I don't think that a lot of people know that. And I don't think a lot of people who just think they're going to start a business and do different aesthetic services, and they don't even take into consideration those things. So that's awesome. So Brittany, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I know you. So besides the fact that you've been doing my lashes forever, I think we started because we started doing trade work, which was really cool for business to business owners. And I started training you, and then you did my lashes for trade, and you competed for your first bodybuilding competitions, and I did your coaching, and that was really fun.
It was super.
What?
It was super fun. I loved it.
You did amazing too. You took second in open at the Jay Cutler Classic that year. Or that was the second year that you did it. Was that the second year you did it with me?
Yes.
Okay, because you did a couple bunch of shows, but that one was really awesome and that was really fun. You got a giant sword, right? And we originally know each other from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to high school together and just like followed each other and was kind of like aware of what we were doing and we're like, yeah, I want to do bodybuilding shows and we did trade and that was awesome. So do you do any other type of trade work? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've done a lot in the past. I think right now I just do trade with you. And then the other girl who does my eyelashes, like we'll just switch and do each other. But I've done a bunch in the past before.
Okay, so you get somebody to do your eyelashes, obviously, because you can't do yours, and then you do theirs, so that you have to have fabulous eyelashes if you're selling it, right?
Yeah, that would kind of be like hypocritical if I didn't.
Well, I agree. I think you sell yourself definitely in your service, and if you're like, how you're going to convince somebody that's a good product if you don't even do it. Me and myself, I eat my meals every week, and I think that there's a lot of food prep companies that people are like, oh, their food's so gross, and I was like, yeah, I wonder if their owners even eat it every week on their own. But I definitely think that it speaks a lot if you are using your own product and if you believe in it and you make it that much part of your own life. I don't think I've gone without my meals for like a single week for 5 years. And I love it. But I don't even know how normal people eat anymore, honestly.
Right.
I'm like, what do you pack to lunch if you didn't have it already prepared and measured out for you? I don't get it. I don't know how to eat like a normal person. But so I'm really glad we talked about the licensing and all of that. And let's see, I wanted to ask you, how does owning your own business work for you and your family? Because you have 2 kids, your husband has a full-time job. How does that work in your guys' favor than say if you had just a regular 9 to 5?
Since I work and I rent I get to set my own hours. So I get to choose when I work. And even if it's hours that I don't typically work, I can switch it up to accommodate myself or other clients. So it's really flexible and it's really great for those reasons. So I primarily work when my husband is home so that we don't have to find a sitter for the kids. So I'll work nights and work weekends too. And right now that works perfect for us because, we don't have older kids or like teenage kids that are super busy with like sports and activities and things like that. So right now it works really great for us to do that. And I think that's just a huge benefit for working for yourself, and it's super flexible that way.
And I think it'll adjust to when your kids are older. They'll be able to you won't need to watch them during the day. They'll be a lot more autonomous. They'll be able to drive themselves places, possibly, be in school during the day. And so you'll just be able to change your schedule. So you're both working during the days and then your evenings are open to support whatever activities that they're in.
Exactly.
Good. I talk to a lot of women who are business owners who have families, and I feel like this works really well for that dynamic. So that's great. All right, so I wanted to ask you if you had a piece of advice from your experience that you'd like to leave women with today who maybe were looking to start their own business, what would it be?
First of all, I would just say to believe in yourself, that you're capable of doing it, because that was really nerve-wracking for me to start. I was really unsure that I actually could do it. That I had enough clients to be able to afford rent and all my supplies, because when you work for yourself, you're not relying on a spa or whatever to supply everything for you. And so that was like my main hesitation before actually starting. But I would just say to go for it. I mean, if you have the experience behind you and if you have the skill behind you, there's no reason why you can't succeed.
Thank you. All right, and this is one thing that I know you've had a lot of experience in because you've changed your location a few times. And tell me a little bit about picking a spot. I know you usually do studios, right? And that are in a larger, what would you call those? Sorry,
like facility. I don't know.
And like a larger facility that has lots of little studios. That it's a lot of things like hair. It's a lot of aesthetic stuff. And you've picked a couple different locations. Can you kind of tell me about working that into your budget, why you choose to do studios and maybe not out of your home? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So I have worked out of my house just once for like a couple months. That was when I was first starting out doing lashes, just to help give me extra practice when I wasn't at work. Because at the time I was commissioned through a salon. So I didn't really enjoy working out of my home because I didn't have like a private space to do that. And so I would just have to find a sitter for my kids. And so it was really difficult to actually focus on work if I didn't have a sitter or whatever. So I just decided to go to the studio because I like to go somewhere to work. I don't want to bring work into my home and never feel like I've actually left work, you know? So going somewhere else was what was the best for me. There's honestly, the studio rental is like taking over the cosmetology and spa world. I think a lot of salons are really struggling if they have booth rent options because the studio option is just so much more attractive. You get your own private room that you can decorate and design however you want. And so that's just so much more appealing than setting up shop in like this public open area of a salon, for example. And so there's actually a lot of places that are turning into this business model of having private individual studios.
Yeah, and I really like visiting you there. So what was the company? It was Image Studios, right?
Yeah.
Was the one that you were at, and then you moved and you stayed close. And tell us why it was really important for you to stay close when you moved.
Well, it worked out really great that it was close to my house and it was still close within proximity of where I was. So it worked out for both of those reasons, but I don't think I lost any clients when I moved just because, and actually a lot of people have told me it's a lot faster to get where I am now just because it's all freeway. Whereas before you get off the freeway and go west and it just took too long. So I have a lot more clients that are way happier with this location.
Okay, great. And I mean, I think that it's so important to, when you are moving, changing spaces, to consider your clients because you don't want to lose them because you changed.
Yeah.
Or you moved too far or it became more inconvenient. What is the name of the studios that you're at now?
They're called studio salons.
What is it?
Studio salon.
Studio salon. Okay. I just wanted to have some options out there because I know Image Studios is really big. I'm not sure if they're national or if studio salons nationally based, but I think that's some good information for women, at least in Utah, here in Utah. Do you know any names of any others that do similar things?
Yeah. Salons. And there's like one more right now.
Can you say that salon one again? I think you cut out.
Live
Salon. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. All right, so I know we didn't really get to go over this, but hold on and change this. This part of it, you're going to flip and you're going to get to ask me a question.
Okay.
I know we have a lot of downtime to talk while you're doing my lashes, and we didn't even get to go over what you were going to ask me. And I'm trying to keep all the questions from everybody different. So tell me what your question is, and I guess I'll just have to tell you if I answered it on one of my other interviews.
Okay. I think not like or I don't know. I just find it interesting how you are so business oriented. Like, have you always been so business minded with everything?
No, I actually never thought I would go into business for myself. I did not go to school for business. I went to school for exercise science and health education and nutrition. And I was a personal trainer. That was my first internship and my first really because it doesn't even matter who you work for as a personal trainer. You're pretty much self-employed. Nobody actually hands you all the clients. You're always marketing yourself. You're always building your own business, always getting your own business cards. So I think that was my first crash course in marketing myself and getting my own clients. Without really realizing that's what I was doing, because I was still getting a paycheck from a company, a larger company. But yeah, I never thought that's what I was going to do. I didn't think I would be necessarily good at it. I really probably always just wanted to have the 9 to 5. I like really consistent schedules and, leave work and be done with work. And I don't know, I just have a family, have health benefits, the total normal American thing. It just happened very organically. And I think that if you have something that you're really passionate about, that other people have interest in, it just happens. I don't think you can go to school and become an entrepreneur, really. You can learn business, but you can't learn to be an entrepreneur. You just really can't.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you for coming on and doing this interview with me today. I know you've got some fun swimming things to get to, so I'll let you go. But I will see you next week with my lash appointment.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thanks, Ashley.
Bye.